Hallo daar. In hierdie les gaan ons kyk na byvoeglike naamwoorde, our adjectives. Die byvoeglike naamwoord beskryf die selfstandige naamwoord. So it is our descriptive word, the adjective, that describes our noun. We do this in one of three ways: attributief en predikatief, trappe van vergelyking, which are your degrees of comparison, en die intensiewe vorm. Kom ons kyk na attributiewe byvoeglike naamwoorde. So what you need to remember is that A stands in the beginning of the alphabet. And that means that this attributiewe byvoeglike naamwoord stands before the noun. When this happens, we need to change the word. So let's have a look how this happens. So ons kry ons byvoeglike naamwoord voor die selfstandige naamwoord. We're going to add an E to the word. Die pragtige meisie. Die ligte briesie. For every rule, there's an exception. This one ends on a G, and that is why we add TE, not just one E. Die wonderlike storie. And then die groen blare. So why did this one not change? What you need to remember is that all colors, kleure, en die woord mooi bly dieselfde. Whether it stands before or after the noun, it will always be in its original form. Predicatief, P comes after A in the alphabet, and that is why this one stands after the noun. Kom ons kyk na die voorbeelde. Na die selfstandige naamwoord en die woord bly dieselfde. So these ones are easy to remember. Die meisie is pragtig. Die briesie is lig. Die storie is wonderlik en die blare is groen. So when we look at attributief and predicatief, the word simply describes the selfstandige naamwoord, the noun. The minute that we have a comparison in the sentence, that is when we are going to use trappe van vergelyking. And make sure you understand the difference between the two so that you do not get confused and make unnecessary mistakes. Trappe van vergelyking. So wanneer daar 'n vergelyking in die sin is, we have a comparison, and we are going to look out for certain words in these sentences. Die stellende trap is die eerste een, and that is the original form of the word mooi. The second one, die vergrotende trap, this is our comparative step. We're still using mooi. Now we are going to add ER, and the word that we are looking out for is as. In your sentence, the word will be after the byvoeglike naamwoord in your sentence. For example, in English, when you say, this girl is prettier than that one. So the than is the as. Die meisie is mooier as die ander meisie. So kyk uit vir die woordjie as vir die tweede trap. Die derde trap is die oortreffende trap. Nou gaan ons 'n ste bysit, STE, and the word that you have to look out for is die. But be very careful. Die can also describe the noun. In a sentence, die mooi meisie, the die refers to the meisie. But if we say, sy is die mooiste meisie, can you see? The die refers to the mooi. And that is when we are going to use the third step. Reg. Kom ons kyk na uitsonderings. Our exclusions, exceptions. If a word ends on an R, we're going to add der. For example, lekker becomes lekkerder. And then in the third step, you are going to go back to your original word and you simply add st. Another example is helder, bright. So helder in the second step will become helder der. And in the third step, we are going to say helderste. Reg. Woorde wat eindig met 'n G, kry ter. Lig becomes ligter, lighter, and the lightest. Third step original word and st. Soft, sag, becomes sagter, and once again back to the original sagste. When we have a word that ends on an F, the F falls away and becomes a W. So I'm going to show you two examples to also explain the difference between short sounds and long sounds like we learned in spelreëls en spelpatrone. The first one is dof, which means dim. Dof, so the F changes to a W. But because we have a short sound, we have to double our consonant and then we add the ER. Third step, back to the original word and st. The next word is doof, which means deaf. So can you see the long sound? When we have a long sound like that, we have to drop one of our vowels. So one falls away, the F changes to a W, and we add ER, dover. And then we revert back to our original word and we add st. Reg. Volgende uitsondering is woorde wat op G en D eindig. So kom ons begin met koud, cold. What happens in this case is that the D falls away completely. So we have go without the D, add the ER, goer, and then back to the original word, add your st, coat, st. A word that ends on a G, wig, the G also falls away. So what do? Remember, long sound, so we have to drop one of the vowels. So now we have that and we add ER. So we are going to put a deelteken on the E to show us a new syllable so that it becomes hoer. And then in the third step, back to your original word, wig, st. Let's have another example with a G. Moeg. Moeg does not count as a long sound, so we're not going to lose one of our vowels, but we need to add the ER. This is very difficult to pronounce, so we put a deelteken on the second E, and that makes it moer, same as hoer. And then back to our original word, moeg and st. As examples, I'm going to put them in brackets for you. Vroeg will work on the same principle as moeg, and droog, dry, will work on the same principle as hoog. Up to now, you would have noticed that the changes in the word only happens in the second step of your trappe van vergelyking. However, when a word ends on an S, we are going to make a change in the third step. Fluks. In the second step, we add our ER, fluksir, only the ER, and then because this word already ends on an S, we're still going to add STE, which means we have a double S in our third step. Then, of course, we always have our exceptions. These words change completely, and these ones you have to learn off by heart. Goed, beter, beste, and be careful. Good, better, best. In Afrikaans, beter is spelled with only one T. Baie, meer, and meeste. Nuut means new, and maybe that will help you to remember the second step, which is nuwer, and then nuutste. Slu means sly. Sluwer, same principle as nuut, and then sluiste. Kwaad is a word that ends on a D, but we do not apply the D rule. Kwaad becomes kwaater with a T, and in the third step back to the D, kwaadste. Lank becomes langer, the K changes to a G. And then this one does not revert back to the original word in the third step. The G stays and it becomes langste. The same with the word jonk. Jonk becomes jonger, the K falls away, and it stays with that in the third step, and you add your ste. More exceptions is when a word has more than one syllable and ends on an E. In step 2, which is our ER step, we are going to use the word meer. And in step 3, which is our STE step, we are going to use mees. For example, opgewonde will become meer opgewonde and mees opgewonde. Tevrede, which is satisfied, becomes meer tevrede and mees tevrede. And just to show you, 'n woord wat meer as een lettergreep het, but it does not end on an E. Interessant, interesting, will become interessanter, ER, en in jou derde stap, interessantste. So it's only when it ends on an E. Then we have intensieve forme. The secret to this one, when they ask you in a question, is if they have the word baie with the adjective in brackets. For example, hulle vra vir jou in die sin gee die intensiewe vorm en hulle gee vir jou in hakkies baie groen. Then you know it's very green. So dit gaan met ander woorde grasgroen wees. You are going to once again refer to your handbook and study guide, where you will find a whole list of intensieve forme, which you have to study and know. The most important thing to remember about intensieve forme is that it is always one word. If you write it as 2 words, you will not get the mark. So look at the examples that I gave you here, and then refer to your handbook and study guide, where you will find more examples of this. Ek sien julle volgende keer.